Hey guys, I'm Nathan from ProPokemon, and here's the answer video for the first puzzle scenario. Now if you haven't seen it yet, I'll post a link to it in the description and you can go watch it, check it out, and then come back to this answer video later. So the puzzle overall I think went quite well. Most of the feedback I got was pretty good and a lot of people seem to like the idea, which is really great. I had a ton of entries, which is good to see, and I think it's something which people enjoy and it's different from what else there is out there. A few people mentioned that they didn't like the fact that there was more than one solution and I only said there was one. And that's something I kind of mucked up on. Usually I wouldn't, it would be a big deal to me, but I do think that in this situation, any answer which you had to get was quite creative, and the ones that didn't involve my idea, you had to use it like a ton of Pokemon like Chandeliers, Kingdom Primes, Black Belts, Dittos, Seekers, things like that, and when people are solving it that way I don't mind so much. I think in the future with my puzzles I'm going to get a few friends to watch them before they go out on YouTube, and then they can just give their feedback or spot any problems with the puzzles and we can sort it out beforehand. Right, so I want to cover the answer, and first of all I'll cover the answer which I had in mind. If you didn't enter this answer but you entered another answer which fulfilled all the rules and would have won the game, then that's fine and I counted it and that's great. Okay, the idea I had in mind was to use Smiggle. Now, if you remember rightly, the Six Corners player had a Seeker in hand, okay? So, if you can use Portrait several times, you can use all those Seekers and clear their field. Now, this concept only needs to work with two Smiggle, because what happens is after one's used Portrait and goes to the bench, if the other uses Portrait to use the Seeker, you can just pick up that one, play it back down, and then it's free to use Portrait again. So you only need a couple of Smiggle, maybe two Switch and a few Junk Arm left over. And if you can serve your resources well enough, I suspect there could be a few decks that could do this without too much problem. Once they only had an active Pokemon left, you can knock it out with things like Reshiram, Zekrom. It's quite easy. Drifloon's quite nice, and this, when I originally heard about this concept a couple of years ago, the decks used Drifloon. The reason for that is that Drifloon's takeaway shuffles their active Pokemon back in no matter what it is. Whether when you're relying on something to get the KO, it might not always be able to do that depending on what it's against. Also, a few people have asked me, like, what's this membership? I mean, you're giving it away as a prize, but I don't really know much about it. So the membership's a concept where some of the best players around the world spend their time to write articles. Then the subscribers pay a nominal fee for those articles, and that money is paid to the writers and financially motivates them to write good articles and to share their ideas. Because the thing is, even if people don't like it, Pokemon's an individual sport. And if you're good at the game, when you're giving away, your deck list, your thoughts, your ideas, and your personal tips and strategies and how you do so well, it's only going to hinder your chances of winning future tournaments. And if you're good enough at the game, you can win a whole deal of money. I mean, you've got paid invitations to fly across the world to places like Hawaii, scholarships, booster boxes. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to do that. Now, the articles are released once every 2 weeks, and they're really, really good, to be honest. Like, I think I'm an okay player, but I learn a ton from reading them. And all the feedback I've had back from subscribers is the same, in that people are able to read these articles and do much better at tournaments, which is the aim of it. I have a strict criteria on who writes for it, and everybody who writes for it is consistently gets invited to the World Championships. They won national championships, regional championships, state championships, so it's really solid stuff. I've also got a coupon code if anybody's interested, because I know a few people wanted to try it out. So when you sign up, if you put in puzzle in the coupon box, then that gives you the first month for $3 instead of $6. And regarding Next Destiny's On, there's already been an article released by Jack. Alex Fields is writing an article which is going to be published today or tomorrow, and then there's going to be one in 2 weeks' time. Now your $3 will cover all of those. That's working out $1 an article. And if you don't like the membership, then all you have to do is send me an email and I'll cancel it, no problems. Okay, so without any further ado, I'm going to get onto the draw for the winner. Now, there are about 50 or 60 entries, and 47 of those were correct. I couldn't give it to a few people because one of the rules of the puzzle was that it had to be 100% guaranteed to work. And some of the puzzles relied on the opponent picking up specific Pokemon with Seeker or discarding specific Pokemon with Ditto, which can't really work. Okay, but 47 correct answers, which is really good. You surprised me. I didn't think that many people would be able to do it, but apparently there's an unlimited deck with Porygon 2 which uses a similar idea. So I think a few people might have been familiar with the whole concept from that. But I've got 47 entries here, so I'm going to pick the winner live on video. Okay? And the winner is... The winner is Zayad A. I think you sent me an email, so I'll reply to your email later with your user details, and congratulations on winning. So now this is the first puzzle wrapped up. I'm going to get the next puzzle out either tomorrow or the day after, and it's going to use a kind of an idea for a puzzle which I don't think anybody's used before. I know puzzle scenarios aren't that popular, but when I first started playing, a few people did them. And for me, I want puzzles which are pretty hard to solve. I want something which only a small minority of people will be able to figure out, and then the people who do can at least spend 5 or 10 minutes looking at it. And when you just use established decks at the moment and strategies within those, it's kind of obvious, and to be honest I don't think it's particularly fun. So what I might use in the future is maybe cards from which have been rotated out and mix them in with the current format to create fun situations and strategies. And the puzzle which I'm going to put up in the next few days I think is a really interesting idea, and it involves needing 2 answers, and one of them is how a player cheated to win a game. And I'll explain more nearer the time, but it's kind of a different way to look at it and presents more opportunities because they were able to cheat. You know, there are things they could have done which players aren't able to do normally. So you'll find out more at the time and be able to work it out. But yeah, I think that's something you guys will really enjoy. So congratulations to Zayed, and he's the winner of the first membership. But hopefully if you guys keep giving in your answers, you know, you'll be in the draw every week, and there should be a good chance that you should be able to win it at some point. So thanks everyone who's entered and supported it, and keep an eye out in the next few days. So if you want a notification of when it comes out, just hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.